Hello, welcome to the video. It's been a while since I put one up, but I've actually got a few queued ready to go up. I just need to get them finished, prepped and sent up. This run is actually a run just before Christmas. I didn't actually have a plan for this one. I kind of ended up just going north, so I head up from Craiglush Loch, car parking, up to Mill Dam, then round the east side of Mill Dam, up the Ordie high path, then over the hiking path to the Butterstone Glen Road, and then followed that from Butterstone Glen Road up towards Riemore, and then up across a wee ford and along the Oisinneach Lochs road. That was the trail on the east side. In some of the more recent rides I've done, I have been running different grades of track. Most of what you see me ride in the videos so far have been double track or access roads, and it got me really thinking about the fact that the grade of track doesn't necessarily indicate the level of difficulty you might experience with it, but rather it's more what kind of obstacles you'll encounter. This road that I'm on just now is referred to as a double track. It's a double width, kind of not quite off-road track, but really an access road that vehicles will likely use. You get other roads that you've seen me on, such as the Ordie run, which is a secondary access road, which is generally much wider, often will be gravelled or even tarmacked. And you might even be able to get two cars going opposite directions on them. In terms of trail grades, there's different systems throughout, and you may be familiar with them. I have kind of somewhat been familiar, but not really paid much attention until recently. And there are certainly in Europe, and I'm going off the Scottish Forestry Commission guide. You get double tracks or access roads, then green, blue, red, then black. There's other trail grades such as double black, triple black. I've seen pro line. I've seen one in Europe that was referred to as a gondola, which seems a bit extreme. But what I found interesting with these is not that they're really an indication of the difficulty of the track, but the kind of obstacles that you might encounter on them and whether or not those obstacles are avoidable. So this is quite interesting for me because I've kind of looked at these as being how hard they will be rather than the nature of them. And there are blue tracks that I would consider, for me anyway, more difficult to ride than red tracks. And I want to really explore that in the upcoming videos and really just look at what these different trail grades actually mean. So this Craiglush to Mill Dam trail is a double track. Double tracks often feature rutting really on the left and right hand side because vehicles will often use it. This trail is used a lot by an off-road driving experience company. I remember before they started using it, this was actually kind of green grass across the whole trail. it's now got these ruts that occasionally are problematic. Most of the time it's not an issue. You just have to really be aware of it. A chap I was riding with over the Christmas period referred to double tracks as being just two single tracks that run in parallel. And I can kind of see the point with the heavy rutting that you get at times. Another double track that I rode recently is in the Rotmel Woods video that I also have up on YouTube. The track going along the line of Rotmel Wood was on Trail Forks anyway, referred to as a double track, and it was quite a bit different than this one. So it was very undulating, lots of up and down hills, and you had slabs of rock and mud and standing water, all sorts of challenges on it. So what seems to be interesting about double tracks is they don't really give you an indication of how challenging you might actually find riding them. They really are just a reference to them being wider, often gravelly tracks that vehicles will use. This next section, the short bit of trail that goes round the back of the Glac is actually marked as a blue trail. According to the Forestry Commission, blue trails are suitable for riders in good health with basic off-road riding skills, basic mountain bikes, and describes a trail as some single track sections and small obstacles of root and rock. Now, I'm not entirely sure why this is marked as a blue trail. There's a mix of grass and alpine conditions on the trail. I've seen other descriptions of blue trails as having short, steep sections. This one obviously doesn't have anything like that. So I would expect this trail normally to be described as a green trail, and it's certainly a lot less challenging than some of the green trails I have done recently, exploring the different categories of trail. Here I'm turning right, not onto the main Loch Ordie road, but onto the Loch Ordie High Trail, which is this section anyway, up to the Butterstone hiking path, is marked as an access trail. So it's quite wide, the conditions are pretty predictable. I've come down this one in one of the previous videos, the Loch Ordie video, when it was really icy. It's an easy section really. The part after I turn up towards the Butterstone hiking path is marked as red. But this section is a double track. You might note that I've got a couple of bits of graphics in this video. In the top right hand corner I have the gradient elevation and the distance I've travelled, as well as the a plot of the route. This data is taken from the GPS files that are generated by the route planner that I'm using. And in the bottom left hand corner you've got a speedometer as well. This data is interpolated. It's not an actual speedo that is generating that data. It is taking the GPS points and generating the data from those GPS points. As such, it's not exactly accurate, but a couple of friends had suggested that they might like to see this data as I'm travelling along, and it's accurate enough, I think, just not particularly precise because of the limitations of the GPS systems. However, you might like it, you might not. Feel free to comment whether or not you like these graphics. I might experiment a little bit with them over the next couple of videos, just to see if people actually like being able to see approximately how fast I'm going and how high I am, how steep the gradient is, and so on. There's actually 3 separate trails that this track leads on to. Down to the left there's a blue trail called Secret Beaver that I actually ran in this video, but the video itself had stopped recording at that point, so I'll do that run on another day. The trail ahead is the red trail. That is the Loch Ordie high trail that you've seen me come the other direction in the Loch Ordie video. And then up to the right is the Butterstone hiking path. The Butterstone hiking path itself is marked as a red trail. It's often single track. There are a mixture of surfaces. You've got grass and there's some boggy sections on the other side of the hill. There's some roots and rocky bits. But again, I'm not sure why this is a red trail. According to the Forestry Commission, red trails are suitable for proficient mountain bikers with good off-road riding skills and fitness and good mountain bikes. And the trail will be challenging, climbs, tricky descents and technical features such as drop-offs and large rocks. I'm not really sure where this trail really fits that description, and I have another video that's coming soon that does have me go down a black trail called Hush Hush. However, people have voted that trail as being a red trail, which makes sense to me. It's certainly a lot more challenging than this, but again, I might be missing a very important point, and there's a very good reason that this is marked as a red trail. If you do know, please feel free to share it in the comments, because I would like to better understand where a trail is suitable for my skills and what I can do, and where I'm probably likely to get myself into a bit of trouble. Again, there's in one of the videos that I've got working on to upload, I'm actually abroad and I do some green and blue trails that I found incredibly challenging, and I actually fall off quite a lot because they go beyond what my skills really are in riding a bike. just a wee note about this gate. It was left open. Normally, the rule is you leave things as they are. However, the night before this ride, it was incredibly windy, and the catch on this gate isn't particularly good. I had a really good look around for any farmers or people working the land and decided to close the gate just purely because, again, it looked like it had either been left open by accident or blown open. But the rule generally is you should leave things as you find them. So at this point, at the end of the Butterstone hiking path, I move over onto the Riemore road. This is a secondary access trail, and you'll see it's quite wide, and it has compacted gravel as a surface, so it's quite easy to run. So I'm just turning right up here into the field and onto another trail that's marked on the maps. It's barely a trail, it's pretty boggy, but it connects up onto the Loch Oisinneach trail. You can go to the west from here and it joins up at the top end of Loch Ordie. To the right we'll go up Loch Oisinneach trail. I hadn't actually recognised it initially, but I have been down that trail before quite a while ago. I went on a reasonably long ride that went up to Oisinneach Moor and Oisinneach Beg, and then on the west hand side, and then came down the east side. However, a lot of the trail up there's destroyed. It wasn't until I realised where I was that I decided to turn around, just because I know a little bit further beyond where I turn, the trail is heavily destroyed. There's sections that have been washed away, there's trees down, and there's a section that is phenomenally boggy. So it's sort of 12-15 inch deep bog at places that is not a joy. As you can see, there is a ford down here. Now, I checked the depth of the ford and I decided to bike across. However, that was really a bit foolish. I wouldn't recommend it. Certainly not on an e-bike. If your motor gets flooded, you could cause yourself some very expensive damage. I was just being foolhardy and really just wanted to go across the ford. But next time I should really hike and bike and just carry this bike and get on with it. So this was the point where I realised that I had been down this trail before, coming the other way, and realised that it does get pretty bad up ahead. So I decided to turn around. There's actually another trail that goes east and round the hill, just at this point where I'm looking to turn. I tried to get my GPS map to work, but it wasn't loading, and I wasn't really entirely sure. However, I do believe there's 2 or 3 more fords that I would need to cross in order to do that trail, and I decided to keep that for another day. No point in pushing myself too much.
this.
So that's it really for this video. I do have another video coming from abroad that you'll see when I get that uploaded. It's mostly done, I just need to do the finishing touches to it, and then it'll be ready to upload. And in that video I will be exploring a little bit more about the difference between green and blue trails and really what it means with regards to the obstacles that you might face. And it's not entirely clear how difficult you might find those trails. And then following that, actually I've got another video back in Scotland where I explore some green trails just so you can see what some local green trails might look like, and have a go at Hush Hush.